The minimalist philosophy of wild fishing float adjustment, unlocking angling wisdom in natural waters in 2 steps. Beyond the hustle and bustle of cities, wild fishing attracts an increasing number of enthusiasts with its unpredictable surprises and pure joy of conversing with nature. Unlike the standardized environment of artificial fish ponds, natural waters present a different landscape: complex underwater terrain, active wild fish, and changeable current conditions, which together form the unique charm and challenges of wild fishing. In the face of such an environment, the precise float adjustment techniques used in traditional fish ponds often fall short, and a more minimalist and adaptable float adjustment method is quietly becoming the first choice for wild fishing masters. To do a good job, one must first sharpen one's tools. In the world of wild fishing, the choice of float is not about pursuing extreme sensitivity but finding the perfect balance between clarity and durability. Experienced anglers often opt for mid-range floats with thicker tails, a choice rooted in a deep understanding of the wild environment. The advantages of thick-tailed floats lie in their exceptional practicality. At long distances under sunlight, the thick tail design significantly reduces the difficulty of visual identification. Facing unpredictable underwater branches or weeds, it shows stronger resistance to breakage. More importantly, when small, trash fish frequently pester the hook, the thick-tailed float can filter out those subtle false signals, providing anglers with more stable and reliable fish bites. This design philosophy embodies the concept of moderate sensitivity, neither missing real bites nor being confused by irrelevant disturbances. Understanding the essence of float adjustment, mastering basic states. Based on different configurations of sublines and sinkers, float adjustment states can be divided into several levels. Sensitive state: sinker and both hooks are suspended, sublines fully taut. In this state, any slight biting action is immediately transmitted to the float, suitable for extremely light fish bites, but prone to excessive false signals in wild fishing. Semi-sensitive state: sinker and upper hook are suspended, lower hook lightly touches the bottom. This compromise maintains some sensitivity while reducing interference from some small. Semi-dull state: sinker is suspended, both hooks lie on the bottom. Wild fish feed most naturally in this state, effectively reducing alertness, making it an ideal choice for wild fishing. Dull state: sinker and both hooks all lie on the bottom. Suitable for highly confrontational fish or extreme pestering environments but will miss many light bites. Wild fishing veterans often favor the semi-dull state. This setup avoids false signals caused by excessive sensitivity while maintaining sufficient responsiveness, perfectly adapting to the feeding characteristics of wild fish and complex underwater environments. The two-step float adjustment, A new standard for wild fishing. Traditional float adjustment methods appear too cumbersome and impractical in the wild. Tested by countless real-world fishing experiences, the two-step float adjustment method has become the new standard for wild fishing due to its surprising simplicity and excellent adaptability. Step 1. Establish a baseline. Use an empty hook with a heavy sinker to adjust until the top of the float is exactly level with the water surface. At this point, the sinker touches the bottom, and both hooks lie flat, forming a clear reference baseline. This step does not require excessive precision, as natural waters inherently have unavoidable irregularities. Step 2. Fine-tune. Move the float downward by about half the length of the short subline, then carefully trim the lead skin. When the float is level with the water again, the system has reached the ideal state where the sinker is suspended and both hooks lie on the bottom. Continue trimming until the float shows 3/5 scales above the water. This scale ensures good visibility while maintaining appropriate sensitivity. The ingenuity of this method lies in its adaptability regardless of water depth changes. Simply moving the float up or down allows for quick adjustment, completely avoiding the limitations of traditional methods in wild environments. More importantly, it respects the essence of wild fishing, not struggling with the float but conversing with the fish. Advanced techniques for complex situations. Wind and wave response in strong winds. Appropriately increase the exposed scales of the float to 5/7 to enhance stability. Meanwhile, switch to a float with a larger lead capacity to ensure the verticality of the line group in wind and waves. Deep water areas. When the fishing spot is deeper than 3 meters, it is recommended to use a long-bodied float, which sinks stably and can more accurately reflect fish signals in deep water. Seasonal adaptation. In winter, when water temperatures are low and fish are sluggish, fine-tune the float adjustment toward sensitivity. In summer, when fish are active, appropriately increase dullness to filter out small signals. Target species adjustment. Maintain the standard two-step method when fishing for bottom-dwelling species like crucian carp. If targeting mid-bottom species like grass carp, adjust the lower hook to 5-10 cm off the bottom. The charm of wild fishing lies in its unpredictability, and the two-step float adjustment method provides anglers with a reliable tool to cope with this uncertainty. It abandons flashy complex techniques and returns to the essence of fishing, understanding fish behavior and adapting to environmental changes. Guided by this minimalist yet profound philosophy, every cast becomes an opportunity to converse with nature, and every catch is a reward for wisdom. Remember, the best float adjustment method is not the most precise one but the one most adapted to the environment. In the world of wild fishing, simplicity is often the deepest wisdom.